Buonasera, good evening my darlings, and welcome to Verona. We are here for just 24 hours, so I'm going to bring you along with us. We have got some incredible things planned during this final part of our epic Italian trip. Welcome if this is your first vlog that you're watching from the Italian trip, and welcome back if you have been watching all of them. So, oh my gosh, let's whiz back 18 days ago. We have done a couple of nights in the beautiful Tuscan countryside for an evening with Andrea Bocelli. We've spent 3 nights in Florence. All of these are different videos which I'll leave linked down below. We've been to Lake Como, enjoyed the glitz and the glamour, the fine dining, and we have just spent a magical, relaxed week on Lake Garda. So there are so many Italy vlogs to catch up on, and also blog posts with all of our top tips and recommendations. You'll find all of those in the description box down below. But we are in Verona for our final 24 hours in Italy, the most romantic city, and of course famous thanks to Shakespeare. Romeo and Juliet was of course set here in Verona. Questionable as to whether Shakespeare himself ever actually came to Verona, but we will of course be seeing Juliet's balcony. But tonight we are heading into the arena, which we've already had a sneak peek of. It is the most magical, so old, can't quite get my head around how old this building is. Built from the year 30, not 1830, not 1630, the year 30. Wow. AD, and we are going to see the opera Carmen tonight, so it's going to be magical. First of all, we're having a lovely dinner. The restaurant that we're having dinner in, it looks absolutely incredible, so excited for that. So while I head back into the restaurant, I'm going to whiz you back in time and show you our hotel and give you a little room tour, so let's go. Okay, so we have just checked into our hotel room for the night here in Verona. We chose to stay at the NH Collection Hotel. The location is really fabulous. We've only been here for about 20 minutes so far, so can't give a full review yet, but I can give you a room tour. Charlie said that he booked the most basic room category, and I'm very pleasantly surprised because actually it is really, really spacious, perfect for what we need just one night here in the city. So let me flip you around and give you a quick little hotel room tour. So this is the bedroom area. I've already got out my pajamas. Love the paneling and this kind of plastery effect wall. Nice king size bed. This is a really funky detail. Charlie's just about to get in the shower. I said, let me do my room tour before you do, because there's this glass panel from the bedroom that leads into the shower area. You can't go through it. It's just for your viewing pleasure. Huge TV. Does anyone ever watch TVs when they're on holiday? Unless it was a really stormy day and you wanted a cozy movie night, I don't think we've ever watched TV when we've been on holiday. But this is not the entire room. So as you come around here, this is this kind of living room area. There's Charles. And we've got, I wonder if that might even be a sofa bed, darling. It could be. Could be. You know, as we say, I mean, it's whenever we do city breaks, and particularly for this, because we're only here for like not even 24 hours. 24 hours, yeah, or just over. We always just book a basic room because it seems a bit silly not to book anything more expensive. Yeah. Obviously, Florence was a city break, but we were there for 4 nights, so it was a bit different. But this is really impressive, and as you say, location is key. Location is key. Another ginormous TV, little desk area, a couple of seats. We have got a coffee station, lavazzo. Then we've got some lavazza. We've got some tea bags and a kettle and some water and a fridge. This was a little entrance corridor. Great. We have a full-size mirror. It's very, very dark in this hotel. A lot of hotels in Italy seem to be quite dark, but I guess that's to keep it a bit cooler. And then we even have, I think the light is automatic. Yes, there we go. We've got this walk-in wardrobe area, which leads you into the bathroom. Loads of space here for hanging. This is what I'm going to be wearing tonight for the opera. Plenty of room here for my absolutely ginormous suitcase, which I had planned to not even open during our time in Verona. I put everything in the smaller one, but had to find some dry shampoo. And then this is the bathroom, really nice and spacious. I have a habit when I go to a hotel of washing my makeup brushes. I think that it's because hotel soap is often really nice and mild and gentle, so it's really good for makeup brush cleaning. So that is, oh, you can see the outfit a little bit nicer here. That is a very mini hotel room tour. Now I'm gonna get ready for the opera. Really, really excited for that. This is the dress that I was wearing to travel from 𝑭𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒐𝒏 down to Verona in. It's a lovely one. Darling, I can see your reflection. I can see your bottom. And it is from And Other Stories. I might actually wear this tomorrow as we explore around the town as well, but for now it's time to get ready for the opera. So this is the restaurant that we're having dinner. It has come very highly recommended by one of Phil's work colleagues that actually lives here in Verona. It's called Ristorante Torcolo and it's absolutely beautiful. Let's head inside. Absolutely incredible. One of the best meals we've had during our time in Italy. Highly recommend that restaurant. It was very bougie. The plates were Versace, the drinking glasses were Dior, but the food was amazing. So now, if you watch the Garda vlog, you'll know that as a group, we take our post-meal ice cream hunt very seriously. So we've done a bit of research, we've come to this place. It's in a very busy, quite touristy area, which normally doesn't mean the best quality, but apparently it's an 80-year-old gelateria. Let's go and try it out. Savoia Gelateria from 1939. Pistachio and cafe. Yum! Okay, so we're having a little stroll just before we head into the opera. We've come to what I think is the old wall that would have been around the city. The arena is outside the wall, so I guess the other side of this would be the old town. Don't know how we can get in. Maybe it's one to explore tomorrow morning. It's who? Ah! Can you take a picture of me next? Yeah. Acabó. This is who B is studying in history, apparently. So cute! He loved his pasta. Look at this, you can see the old drawbridge. Wow. So Verona is well known for this pinky stone and pinky coloured buildings. This is Via Roma. Okay, here we are at the arena. We have got to go through security scanners. But first we've got to find our gate. Wow, this is our entrance through the tunnel. Gosh, very dramatic. Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
So this is our commute to breakfast. We are walking through the old walls of the Castel Vecchio, which means old castle. Interesting, they've got some piped music from medieval times. My gosh. How funny, I thought it was piped music, but there's actually a chap here with an accordion. Darlings, welcome to our day exploring Verona, the most romantic city in Italy. So we are heading for a quick breakfast this morning. We've had a lot of very traditional Italian food during our trip, so actually we're going somewhere that's got some home comforts like avocado toast, etc. I popped up an Instagram story asking for recommendations, and so many of you that actually live in Verona recommended 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 Bakery, so that's where we're heading for breakfast. We've already had a really scenic walk through the old part of town. We've just crossed Punto Vecchio, Punto 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 separates the old side of town and the newer side of town by the Castello Vecchio, across the beautiful river. It's such a gorgeous morning today. So yes, we're just taking a stroll through the old streets, and we're gonna have some breakfast, and then we've got a full day of exploring beautiful Verona. So it's a triple archway bridge. They used these arches for construction, as at that time it was the strongest shape. The red brick is very synonymous with Verona. It's quite an iconic site. And the river, this beautiful archway over here, that beautiful creamy morning light. It's absolutely gorgeous. So down here we have a better view of the bridge that we just crossed. As you can see, it's built in the same style as the Castello. It was built around the 1350s, around 1354, according to Wikipedia. At the time of being built, it had the largest span of any bridge, and it's got the 3 archways. You can see the little slits in the building there that would have been used to aim a bow and arrow out to protect yourself from your enemies. And just look at these beautiful buildings along the river. Something a little bit Parisian about Verona, but actually most of it was built by the Romans, so it is known sometimes as Little Rome. An iced almond matcha to go after a delicious breakfast. That was really tasty, and now we're heading back over another bridge back into town, still with our lovely friends, and I think B particularly wants to go and see Juliet's balcony, so that is next on our list. Casa de Giulietta. This is Juliet's house. You can see already lots of love scrawlings on the walls. Let's go and see. So here we are in Juliet's house, and this here is the famous balcony where many star-crossed lovers have imagined that Juliet once would have called down to Romeo. Over here you can see it's quite a lot of people here, but we didn't have to queue to get in, which is great. This is the bronze statue of Juliet, and it's meant to be very lucky to gently fondle her right or left breast. Here we've got one of the panels with the love padlocks. I think they have to add and remove these panels every now and then, because as you can see it just gets so full. And there is actually a team of writers, volunteers that work up in the offices up here that reply to each and every one of the letters left to Juliet with questions about love. It happened I think around 30 years ago. A man started to do it just out of a passion project, and then when he retired from doing that, a load of volunteers decided that they would do it. So maybe that heart you can see in one of the windows there, that's the office of the Juliet's secretaries. So I have learned that the cool shop for teenagers right now is called Subdued. I'd never even heard about it, but I am most definitely not a teenager. But B has found that there's one here in Verona.
Stock.
Huh?
Completely different stock.
Completely different stock, okay. Let's take a look. This is the most accurate t-shirt I have ever seen. How much is it?
UK £23.
£3 or 23 euros. Gosh, you're definitely better off buying it abroad. Oh my gosh, they look like they're for babies, but they're so cute. We are witnessing the Romeo and Juliet of sausage dogs here in the fair city of Verona. Kevin has met his match.
He's Kevin.
Oh, we're in love. So while B is a lover of Subdued, Jack was desperate to come and have a look in at Lacoste, so they're having a little browse now. I'm going to quickly show you my outfit of the day. I have just dribbled a little bit of water down my top, but I've got on this nice little top and skirt, both from And Other Stories. I might go and put my trainers on because these are not turning out to be the most practical given all the cobblestones everywhere. And then I've gone for Monica Vinader, lovely earrings, a little bit Roman inspired. Did I tell you this already? I'm getting deja vu. And my pearl and medallion, also quite Roman inspired bracelet, which is perfect because Verona is known as Little Rome and was largely built by the Romans. So we have just said farewell to our friends. They are heading to Venice while we are heading home tonight. So we have the rest of the day just to do a little bit of exploring. This is Piazza dell'Erbe, which would have been the main market square built as the main form of the town during Roman times. This, I believe, would have been the main municipal building, and there are kind of Greek statues all around the square, and this very famous fountain here in the middle. Wow, so this fountain is the most ancient monument in the square, built in 1368 with a statue on top called the Madonna Verona, which is a Roman sculpture dating back to the year 380. My goodness. So we're en route to one of the lovely giardinos, but wow, what fabulous church bells. This is the bridge we intended to cross to get there, but it is closed. So instead we're going to go this way via Castel San Pietro, which has the most incredible view of the city. Wow, that's so loud considering how far away they are. So this bridge we're crossing right now is the Ponte Pietra. This is a bridge that was built in the year 100 BC. That's before Christ. That is just absolutely crazy to think that they did this over 2,000 years ago. My gosh, look at these beautiful floral balconies on the edge. Wow. I know we've got a lot of history in the Cotswolds, but my goodness, the history here in Italy is something else. So Ponte Pietra literally means the stone bridge, and I've just had a quick check on trusty Google, and this again was sadly destroyed during World War II, but they have rebuilt it using all of the original stones back as it would have been built in the times of the Romans. Quite the feat back then. Very, very amazing. Halfway up to Castel San Pietra, luckily there's a water fountain. Those steps are not for the faint-hearted, but the reward at the halfway mark, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. Wow. So beautiful. We're nearly at the top of the castle, and there's a little restaurant here. You can have a quick coffee to spur you on for that final ascent. Just choosing a table with a view. This is a lovely spot to enjoy a macchiato. How beautiful. Perfect for 5 minutes rest until we're back on our trek to the Castello de Pietra. So we've made it to the top. The views are exceptional, but we are in a car park and there are all the bins from the castle over here. Not quite what you would see on Instagram, but the views are absolutely spectacular. It's really incredible seeing all of the old roof tiles from this viewpoint, all the red tiles, and you can really see how many old buildings there are in the centre of the city, and then the more modern buildings across the river. Blimey, it was toasty getting up here. We've got a lunch booking in just over an hour, so we'll have a quick whiz over to the Giardino and then head back into the town centre for lunch. Another lovely viewpoint. Gosh, it'd be magical to come up here for sunset or sunrise. The more modern side of town. Sorry? Oh yeah, that's where we had our coffee. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. Phew, that was a very toasty walk, but we have made it to the Giardino Giusti, which is a beautiful ornate garden here just outside the main centre of Florence. Now I've got major deja vu because Lala, my mum and I came to Florence. Did I say Florence? I meant Verona. I'm exhausted. Yes, we came to Verona maybe about 10 years ago on our way to Siena. And we were so tired because I think we'd had like a 1 AM wake-up call to get our flight here. We were absolutely exhausted, and we actually came for a nap here in the gardens. So funny memories of coming here with Lala. But we've started off the tour with a little visit through the apartment, which is this incredible big building behind me. I'll show you inside in a second, and then we're going to take a stroll around the garden. We're in this incredibly grand room, and Charlie's just been reading in the information book. One of the reasons that the family was so wealthy was from the wool trade. Again, sounds a bit like the Medici family that we learned about in Florence. And some of these grand rooms would have been used for dyeing the wool. Look at these huge doors. Let's have a little look what's through here. Beautiful old marble floor tiles. So we can scan for information, and on their app we can find out, oh, you're meant to kiss the 2 Roman emperors. So here we are in the formal gardens. Lots of box hedging to create these lovely structures. Oh, and some more turtles doing their sunbathing. Are you okay, babies? Are you a bit hot?
I love putting them in these.
Are you a bit hot, babies? No, we're used to it. We're quite all right. We're just chilling. So this is the French-style parterre part of the garden, designed in 1765, with statues of mythological figures placed in each section. So, wow, these are all the work of sculptor Lorenzo Muttoni, with Diana, Venus, Atlas, Apollo and Adonis all throughout the beautiful gardens. Up here is where Lila and I had our naps, that time that we came here about 10 or 12 years ago. So, since I was last here in 2020, there was a huge storm and loads of the cypress trees fell over into the maze, and they've purposely left the gaps in the maze. My goodness. Damaging the congruence of the sculpted decorations. Oh, that's such a shame.
Because cypress trees don't have a great rooting system.
Oh.
So they're not like an oak tree or something.
No.
But look, if you look, that one, I imagine they would have been more that size.
Yeah.
And they've obviously
Oh.
them. But that's the magic of a garden and the challenge of a garden.
Ever evolving, ever growing. So you get a lovely view of the villa from here. These beautiful blue flowers and this gorgeous old fountain. Cypress trees. My goodness, it's toasty. But I definitely slightly prefer these areas where it's a little bit more wild. I wonder if this fountain has got any turtles living inside. Doesn't look like it. This is a beautiful anemone honorine. We have lots of these in our garden. They weren't quite out when we left for this trip, but 17, 18 days later, I imagine they might be in bloom when we get home. I'll be out with my torch at 1 o'clock in the morning tonight to see how the garden is doing. So we have spent a lovely half an hour or so wandering around the Giardino, and now it is time for lunch. The place that we're going to for lunch is called Ristorante Torcolo. It was recommended by a friend of ours, so we're going to head over there. We are very much ready to sit down for an hour or so, maybe a nice glass of rosé, and then we'll plot what we're going to do for the rest of the afternoon. Here we are, Dari. They look like they've got a beautiful garden through here. Let's go and check it out. So of course, while we're here in Verona, the Opera Festival is going on, and they have got a gastronomic journey, 7-course menu inspired by the opera. I'm probably going to go for a la carte. So we are at Ristorante Torcolo, which was a recommendation from our friends Karis and Dan. And it's this really sweet little courtyard garden, which is apparently quite rare in Verona for a restaurant to have a garden, because it's such a, how would you describe it? Condensed city.
Yeah, I mean, it's not dissimilar to, like, this would be rare in, like, even in London. This garden is probably a similar size to, like, the little garden out at the back of the Ritz. Like, and to have a garden like this that's open to the public via a restaurant is unusual. Yeah. And very special. These sort of things exist throughout all major cities, but you have to know where to find them, and thank you to Dan and Karis for the recommendation. Yeah. But the setting's beautiful, subtle music. Obviously, in a hot country, you want lots of shade in a garden and lovely, beautiful umbrellas. But the food has been just super authentic, right? Small menu, very seasonal, sort of authentic ingredients. Local ingredients. We have both got the truffle mascarpone risotto from Maine. Starters were amazing. Wow. The rosé is from Lake Garda, and it is actually the best rosé I think I've had on this trip. And it's just such a gorgeous setting, these lovely umbrellas, and we're in amongst the hydrangea bushes. It's not very busy either. There's probably been 8 other tables this whole time we've been here. And it's so sweet. It's been here for 25 years. We've met the gentleman. I don't know if he was the founder. He said he's been here for 25 years. No, I think he's the owner of the restaurant. He must be right. So. It's just these 2 old boys that are taking the orders and delivering the food. I presume there's more in the kitchen. Well, there must be. But it's such a little gem. So I definitely recommend adding Ristorante Torcolo to your agenda if you are doing a 24 hours in Verona. Now, without further ado, have you tried it? You've already eaten half of it. It's unreal. Yeah, it's delicious. I literally blink and he's eaten half of it. Yeah, unbelievable. Okay, let's give it a try. We have got some vegetables coming too. Nice level of al dente. Nice level of al dente. Oh my gosh. I don't think I reported back on the restaurant last night either. That was amazing. The opera was incredible. What did you think? We literally only had one iffy meal. The whole trip? The entire trip. We've been away 16 days. Maybe, no, 2. One on this part of the trip, and obviously the one in Florence that was a bit iffy. Oh yeah. But we must have had nearly 40 meals on this trip. We've eaten very well. I wouldn't say we've actively eaten unhealthily, but obviously we've eaten a hell of a lot of carbs. We've not eaten junk food, we've just eaten a lot of risotto, a lot of butter, cheese, olive oil. Been worth it. But unbelievable food. Yeah. I mean, look, for me personally, the Italians are the best cooks in the world. Absolutely. A lot of people that say the French cuisine's amazing, Spanish cuisine's amazing. Everyone has their own little unique dish, but the Italians across the board, they just let ingredients do their thing. Which I love. So delicious. This is 10 out of 10 risotto. Yeah. Did you say? And it's a perfect amount. Yeah. Unbelievable. Not unbelievable. Tutto bene. Benissimo. Bellissimo. After a delightful lunch, we are on the move again, looking for a gelateria. And Carmen, that we watched last night, has now finished. And they are bringing in the Sphinx and the Egyptian columns for tonight's new performance. I actually don't know what opera that is, which is probably... The guy at the restaurant, which we haven't fact-checked, but he seems to pretty know what he's talking about. So they change the show every night. Maybe because it's the opera festival right now. I mean, that's bonkers. Like, some people probably stay in Verona for 10 days to watch 10 different operas. How on earth, though? Like, the set was awesome last night, but how do they change that night by night? I mean, it's impressive. It is crazy. But yeah, here's all the Egyptian props ready for tonight's show. If you know what show this is going to be, let me know in the comments down below.
So a quick Google recommended Gelateria La Romana as a fantastic ice cream. So we've come to one for our post-lunch treat. What is Charlie eyeing up over there, I wonder? Oh, it's so nice and cold in here.
Desserts in here you have to defrost, or?
Just a moment.
I went for a pistachio frappe. Can't believe I'm going to say this, but I have had 5 too many ice creams on this trip.
That's amazing.
I know.
It's like a little
Yogurt pot.
dessert pot, but that.
I know, 10 out of 10. We'll definitely be making this at home. Yeah. Okay, my darlings, it is our final hour here in Verona. We are quite exhausted from more than 2 weeks of traveling around Italy and a long day on our feet today. I'm intrigued to see how many steps we've done today, actually. I think it's going to be a lot. For the final hour, Charlie is resting in the hotel, catching up on the office, the American office, which is perfect because it means I can go out and do a little bit of shopping. I've come to the most famous shopping street in Verona, which is called 𝑭𝒊𝒅 𝘞𝘦𝘢𝘢. I hope I've said that correctly. There's Gucci there. Saint Laurent, there is a Louis Vuitton, as well as some more high street stores. So I thought I would just spend the last hour having a little mooch around until it's time to get the taxi back to the airport and back home. So here we are on Via Mazzani. There are some lovely designer boutiques like Gucci, Saint Laurent, and a few others, Louis Vuitton down here, and then there's also some high street stores as well. I'm just going to take a little amble, see if there's anything exciting. That's rather cute. Dolce & Gabbana have done a collaboration with Bialetti coffee brand. That is very fun. Let's have a little look what else they've got inside. I really love it, but I don't use this kind of coffee machine. I wondered if they might have a milk frother, but I don't think they do in this pattern. Dolce & Gabbana filter press. I love them. What a fab little set. That is adorable. My gosh, they've even got a Bridgerton one. I've got this nice little water bottle. Very nice. I was walking towards this black shop thinking it was Chanel, but it's a currency change. Oh dear, what a plonker. So I don't know if anyone else gets like this, but sometimes I'm in tourist mode and sometimes I'm in shopping mode, and it's really hard to cross between one mode to the next. Turns out that I'm in tourist mode today and I'm just not really interested in the shops. I just want to see old things for the last hour in Verona. However, there is actually a shop that combines both, which I know sounds very intriguing, so let me show you what I mean. So here we are in the children's section of United Colours of Benetton, and they actually have some Roman ruins here in the store. How crazy is this? This probably nearly 1,000 or maybe over 1,000-year-old Roman well is being used for folding up children's jumpers now. But you know what? These things, it's important that we see them and that we get to get up close and personal instead of just leaving them to ruin. There's a part of an old Roman wall here being merchandised with some t-shirts. My goodness, you just don't see this in many places, do you? And goodness knows, this may have been an old well, and you've got some carvings, some mosaics on the floor here. This is really rather unique. I just went for one final look at the arena, and now it's 5:30, time to head back to the hotel. I would say 24 hours in Verona is absolutely perfect, unless you literally want to do every museum, every gallery, but for what Charlie and I wanted, 24 hours has been perfect. We literally arrived to our hotel this exact time yesterday, and with the opera last night, I feel like this has been just absolutely perfect. So next stop is Verona Airport, 2 hours flight, back home, back to the doggies, back to my garden. I am very excited to get home. I wish I could just click my fingers and be there. But I have very much enjoyed bringing you around Verona with me. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have.